such an asshole!
Fuck. Let's get that lined up there. There we go. Is that right? Now I gotta move it over. Come on! Come on! Professional outfit here. Hi, I want to start by telling about my history. Why isn't the important part, and I'm not saying as excuse for who I am today, but rather just to give some context and background so it gives better idea of where I'm coming from and to better solve my challenges. Okay, he's from Asia. He lives in the United Kingdom. You need to improve your English because your questions are about girls and meeting girls and da-da-da-da-da. All right, you need to improve your English. You're real good for an immigrant, okay? You're better than the shitbirds we got over here in the United States that just don't fucking learn the language because why would you? But you need to improve your language because not just for work. Work would be one advantage unto itself. But women are... You can't just go, me wanna fuck you. Okay, you gotta woo them a little bit, and if you don't have a good command of the English language, you miss out on some key adjectives. You're not as poetic. And women aren't literal; they're emotional. You can't just, "Hi, how are you? We sit here for 5 minutes now. We go fucking 10." It doesn't work that way. I am short at 5'6" and 72 kilograms. So you multiply it. 2.2. Is it 2.2? Come on, Cleary. 2.2 times 72. 158.5. All right, you're fat. You're fat. You're not obese, but you're fat. Asian background. I live in the United Kingdom. Please don't say the name of the location. All right, I won't. I'm disadvantaged being short and in most places being Asian. Also, my location has a higher ratio of males. Start of anxiety. First, when I was very young, around 6, I had a very unstable grandmother who was emotionally abusive, and often I cried for hours, having suicidal thoughts and feeling like I failed everyone and making everyone in my family unhappy when it would be better if I didn't live. Due to unstable, unpredictable nature of my grandmother, I ended up feeling extremely anxious very often in many new situations. Despite the darker parts, I was also very much loved my mom and relatives. I also socialized. Where's your fucking dad? I know the Democrats, and in your case, the socialists, love to make you think you don't need your dad. Dads are optional. Fuck them, you don't need them. Where's your fucking dad? It ain't your fault. Just ask him where your dad is. I also socialized well with other kids, often suggesting games to play and going on adventure exploring. For a long time, this has been a fond memory. Social anxiety. I moved to the United Kingdom from Korea when I was 10. I struggled not speaking English, having difficult culture, where the rules I learned about how to behave in society was different, and these really triggered my already prone anxiety due to unpredictable nature and bad experiences of society interactions from my disadvantage. Ultimately, I ended up being very scared to interact with people. In school, I didn't really have many friends, and quite often because I was already scared to interact, filtering myself, so I was most of the time having very negative experiences and stuck in a cycle. For a long time, social anxiety and depression became a part of my normal life. I realized this when I was 14, that there's even a name for this sort of condition, social anxiety. All right, I'm just going to push through this. Also around this time, hormones kicked in. I started getting an interest in girls. Oh, this is going to just add fuel to the fire. I ended up going to one of the top universities in London doing computer science engineering. Girl-to-guy ratio was 10-1. Between depression, social anxiety, knowing I was going to be stuck in a cockfest industry where I was already disadvantaged, I'm handicapping myself on chance of meeting girls environmentally even more. I ended up failing and dropping out. During university, I read game and realized you can improve social skill with the opposite sex. I attended different seminars, boot camps. I went out often and tried to interact, talk with girls, etc. It helped with social anxiety, trying to interact more with other humans. I didn't get laid. Right. One lucky time at a club was coming on, showing crazy... Okay, your English is fucking horrible. That's your biggest hurdle right now. You got big hurdles. Many. And big. But your biggest one is your English fucking sucks. It's great for an immigrant. It'll get you by. It'll get you a job. But women are, you gotta give them poetry. You are so much a computer engineer. And I could tell you program many computer languages. But that's telling a machine how to fucking operate. Women have emotions, hormones, and a mythical, chemical or ethereal thing, stuff that men have yet to discover, and it would be the end-all be-all that would explain their weird, odd behavior. In the meantime, you have no girl is going to talk to you because your English is so literal. All right? So start reading poetry. I hate poetry. I fucking hate it. Old poetry. Nothing written in the past 50 years. Get rid of that fucking shit. You got to go old school. And watch some Cary Grant flicks, okay? Watch some Cary Grant flicks. And look how you use the language as an art to create a picture and to titillate people. Not to merely convey data. All right? I know you're from Korea, it's your second language, but I'm just telling you what you got to do. This is the first thing right here. You sound like a robot. Due to failure of woman, even after trying so hard within my limit of 2 years, being scared to go outside and feeling depressed, I turned to video games and just existing for 5 years at home, not leaving very much. Bop, bop, bop. Also between 16 and 26, I sought help from a psychologist, counselors, group therapy, CBT, etc., but it didn't help much. I felt like for some of them, how can they be so bad, yet because of the nature of the work, they keep raking in money from desperate people. Yeah, no, psychology, for the most part, therapists, I'm going to still recommend you talk to a therapist. Okay, you just got to find the right one. And to expedite your search, only talk to male therapists. And they should be masculine, and ideally they should have military experience. Right? Not some fatty piece of shit soy boy who's never worked a real job. Do not talk to female therapists, all right? It's not to say there's no good ones out there. It's just for the sake of you finding one that's going to suit you. But for the most part, yeah, therapists are bullshit. Losing hope towards getting girl every year, suicidal thoughts came stronger. Most likely I'd been dead by now in an alternative universe. In mental health activity group I was attending, God almighty. I did meet a fat girl who was very patient. I did have twice, but turns out very angry with issues soon as your intimate relationship. And soon as I said, this is unfair, she dumped me. The way fat girl treated me, somehow I learned expressed towards my mom anger after making my mom cry. I hated myself for being so... Dude, where's your dad? Did your mom fuck some guy and now you just spat out and there's no dad? And you should be angry at your mom. You should be absolutely fucking angry at your mom because she raised you without a fucking dad. It's apparent. Unless your dad's there and kept in a cave. Even though I couldn't face challenge of the world myself, I decided I will not be someone who hurts people I love. Well, get used to it. Started going to meetups. That's good. All right. Went to social anxiety group in London. Not bad. It was a real struggle to try to go out every time, but I didn't want to be someone who hurt people I love. Did you want a video? Because this is a long-ass fucking thing. Video response. I should have charged you way more. One of activities to start dancing because I needed to feel less uncomfortable touching the opposite sex. Good! That's large. Smart move. Smart move. We don't even hug in our home culture. I grinded through most of the part of the work the past 2.5 years dancing through crannies, anyone and everyone putting my time so I could get good. That's how you get good. Now in dancing. I think my chances and improvements is unusual. None of society anxiety people I met from the past have changed much. No. None of the normal people I meet changed this much. Some dances are very intimate, like kizomba. Like tango, your chest is connect. Yeah, that happens. Because I'm a caring person, I give comfortable dance, and quite often if they're a beginner where they express very positive emotions and quite often say I'm a really good dancer. Yeah, you probably are a good dancer. I'm also on a team where I've done performances on multiple dance festivals, events. I also sometimes volunteer to teach. Sometimes it's hard to choose who to dance with in my social scene because sometimes girls grab me for a dance. Well, that's good. That means you're a really good dancer. Dance environment, I'm now probably in the top 5% of male elite in my location. Also, I dance salsa, bachata, kizomba, 8 different dances in total. Even in world, if we take all these different styles, I'll be rare. Now, girl in the problems. Oh, we're going. Struggling with girls, I'm such a pussy, and despite how much I want to try freeze up. I'm going through this very quickly because this is not efficient. But at parties where they made it normal to kiss each other through... I have been to parties where they made it normal to kiss each other through excuse of doing something else. After 1 year, I still don't. Maybe I'm scared. What the fuck? My values are traditional. That's not just a question. Okay, now we get to the questions. 80 fucking years of my life gone, so you finally get to the questions. Turns out I have traditional values from my Asian culture. There. You can accurately assess yourself. I want affection, love, and a relationship experience, but I think I have to sleep around to get more. You're not going to sleep with a girl. You're just not. How do I use my status within the dance environment to find a girlfriend? Should I try to initiate, I think you mean, not intimidate, or intimate experiences? If so, what are the processes I can grind out? Okay, dude, you are so fucked up. And whereas I get angry at Americans who come from spoiled little cushy suburbanite pastimes, sounds like you actually did come from a very bad background, and then you moved to a completely different culture. So I'm willing to give you the legitimacy that you do have social anxiety disorder. But here's the deal. All right, we've already talked about your English being very bad. I mean, again, it's good. It'll get you by. All right. But you have some major problems you have to work through with a therapist. Your dad not being around, your grandmother treating you like shit. Then you move here to a completely different environment. And, well, yeah, you're going to have some problems coming here. And I know your hormones have kicked in and you want to meet girls. That is the least of your problems. So I'm going to simplify your life a lot. You're not dating girls right now. You're not even bothering with them. You can go dance. You know, one throws herself at you, sure. I mean, okay, that might happen. You got way bigger issues to deal with, right? One, you do have some mental issues if you're worrying about suicide, all right? So you do need to talk to a therapist. I can't help you in that regard. So you just got to go talk to a therapist. And I've already mentioned before, you got to go find a male therapist. You don't have to, but that's what I'd recommend. 2, you were brought up your first decade of life, which was very formative, in Korea. And United Kingdom girls are not Korean. And you are Korean genetically and a fair amount psychologically too. Right? And then you run off to computer science. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's a good field. But aside from dancing, you have not integrated yourself into British culture. And I don't know if you necessarily would. So I'm going to recommend you do. And this is down the road. Okay, this is down the road. I'd think about moving back to Korea. Right? And in that, I would also think about dating a Korean girl. I got a buddy. He was born and raised in the United States. He's an American. All right? His culture was American, but he's Vietnamese ethnically. And he dated all these American women, and they all ran roughshod over him, treated him like shit. And for whatever reason, genetic, biological, certainly wasn't cultural, maybe something to do with family upbringing, they said, fuck it. I'm going to Vietnam, and I'm going to see if there's... And he's got a nice wife now, and she's Vietnamese. Right? So there's a lot to be said about where you came from, and in your case, where you were predominantly raised. So I would go back to Korea, because that's going to solve all these social problems that you have here in the United Kingdom now. Right? And I think it'll increase your chances of finding a girl that is more for you. Because the United Kingdom girls, Western girls, it's just not you. Right? And here's the other thing. Look, dude, I know you came from a shitty background and you got all these problems. And the therapist will go and talk to you about Freudian theory or whatever else, and that's all fine and good, all right? here's the ultimate problem. You're 6'2", and you're ugly. You're overweight. You need to lose weight. Not a lot, but you do need to lose weight. And yeah. Okay, maybe you're not that ugly. You're overweight. You're not that overweight. You need to tighten up. You need to muscle up. You need to go to the gym. Dancing is helping. All right. But your mentality, you could probably pull some girls, but you're 5'6". You're short. Yeah, here's a picture of you. Yeah, I don't know if this is a current. Oh, you did lose weight. All right, good. That's a good. All right, not bad. There you go. That's in the right direction. Here's the problem, though. With your mentality, and your raising, and your upbringing, and your disadvantages, which you actually do generally have, you're in no condition to present a girl a quality guy right now. Now, you've made great strides. You've lost the weight. It looks like you're in some kind of martial arts. You've become a great dancer. But it's your personality. You have to be charming, especially in Western countries. You have to be the lead. You have to be charming. You have to ask them out. You have to. And you're not it. You're not it. The goal would be a James Bond, not Daniel Craig James Bond. Look at a Sean Connery James Bond. Look at any kind of standard movie where there's the charming guy. You are so, now, no guy ever reaches that, but you are so far removed from that, you can't even talk to people right now, right? So what you need to do is you need to focus on you. And it looks like you're making some good progress here. You're hitting the gym, you're losing weight, you're in martial arts, you're dancing, all great things, all right? But until you're comfortable being yourself and you're happy with you being yourself, you should not be dating girls. Because what do you bring to them? You got to bring something to the table. And you're a mess. You're a mess. So I would, one, go back to, find a therapist. That should be the first thing, is find a therapist who is male. And let's start there. The second thing is I would start thinking about moving back to Korea. All right? That'd be the next step. Keep doing what you're doing, working out, doing your jujitsu or whatever you got going on there, and dancing. That's fine. And you'll know when all of a sudden, like, you got hobbies, you got things going on, and you're not afraid to go out and be social anymore. But this could damn well take a decade. Because of what you've gone through in the past, and what you're a robot. You're not human, for God's sake. You need to loosen up. I'm not saying go get drunk and party, but you need to get comfortable with yourself and develop your own personality and stop worrying what the rest of society wants. Fuck what the rest of society wants. Go and pursue your own interests and do things that you want. Now you're doing that with the martial arts, you're doing that with dancing. I'd suggest something that you truly want to do. Not video games. You don't need video games anymore. And then, after you do a bit of soul searching, maybe move back to Korea. You have a career, you have some passions, you have some hobbies, and you find out who you are. And then you can go to a party, you could go to a social situation, and you're not tense or freaked out. Then you can worry about women. But right now, dude, doesn't matter what your hormones are saying. You are such a mess. And you need to clean up that mess, that you're not going to be able to meet girls, period. So I can't in good faith tell you to waste your time, not to mention suffer the rejection and the pain and the psychological trauma, I guess, of getting rejected. So let's work on you first, which you seem to be making some pretty good inroads. And dude, don't worry about women. I would just, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them, so... Alright, that's it. That's all the Claremeister's got. You guys got questions? The old Captain's got answers. ASLconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.